Now those people will end up with
Okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started. Thank you. Is everybody's phones off? Please turn your phones off. Keep your conversations quiet or not at all. Okay? This is going to be a little bit of an adjustment today because I'm going to move. I'm standing right now with the camera there, and then I'm going to get down on the floor, so I'm going to move things around a little bit. So bear with me as I do a little audio-visual adjustment. This is week 5, beginning of week 5. You're all here. That's awesome. Just remember a couple of little reminders. The weather's getting so nice that there's a lot of people out there. So we want to be respectful of all the people that are out there. And when you see someone coming toward you, for the whole group to communicate in whatever way you can to shift over to allow space for the oncoming people to go by. And also, if the people in the back of the group hear a bicycle or scooter coming from the back, then again, move over to give them space to pass by you on the left-hand side. Also, remember princess steps, conversation pace. Remember, we want to all have a purposeful warm-up. That means the beginning part should be easy. I'd like the leaders to take at least 2 heart rate checks today. One in the beginning, in the warm-up part, and one somewhere in the middle part to keep a check on that. Also a reminder that when the group starts to spread out, which all the groups tend to spread out more and more as time goes on, because the base fitness level of any individual in any group is not the same. Okay, like the base fitness level of the 24 people in the Panther group or the 9 or however many people in the Bobcat group when we start isn't the same. The rate at which people do their homework isn't the same. There's a lot of variables that can factor in to that. So while the leaders are going to do their best to have somebody with the person that's the slowest in a group and somebody either in the middle or up ahead, and we do the doubling back, which you all got that down by now, okay? That said, if the group, the faster people get so far ahead and they have to double back too frequently, then that might be an indication, maybe, that you want to come and talk to me and see about switching groups. And again, that's not uncommon. I mean, how many times have I done this now? This is 51. So I've got a fair amount of experience conducting this and executing it. So it's not uncommon for the groups at this point to start to spread more and more and more. Okay. Also, let's see. People might still be gone because of spring break. I'm not sure because spring break was last week. But anyway, the topic today is rolling out and breathing. Okay, so we're going to do a little breathing exercise just to kind of get you used to that. And oh, that reminds me, those of you that have either exercise-induced asthma or allergies to trees, there's obviously a lot of beautiful trees pollinating right now. So be aware and wise about that. That's going to increase your heart rate for sure. And it's definitely going to affect, you know, your safety out there. So if you have that situation and feel comfortable, let your leaders know or let somebody that you know if you have to slow down because of that, then respect that. Don't put yourself in an unsafe situation, which could then potentially put someone else in an unsafe situation, okay? So any questions about anything right now? Anything? Don't be shy. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to switch around. So, John, you can take that. Okay. Now. Can you see?
I can see it. You're in frame.
I'm in there?
Yep.
Am I still in there?
You're still in there. Can you hear me now?
Okay. You're going to do this sitting up. I'm going to do it lying down just to show you breathing. Okay? And this little breathing exercise that we're going to do. And the reason why we want to have the reason why we want to have awareness of our breathing is it makes rolling out, that's our topic tonight, rolling out with trigger point and whatever tool you have, more effective. Okay, so when we breathe, we're more relaxed, there's better blood flow, and that's going to make the rolling out that much more efficient. Okay, so you don't want to hold your breath, you don't want to hold tension. It's not really how hard you roll out, it's how much can you relax. Okay, the combination of our body weight rolling on the tool along with breathing and relaxing is what makes rolling out so much more effective. Okay, so thanks for being my monitor there.
You're good.
All right, so you can see this block rising up and going down. So I'm going to breathe in. See how it rose up? And I'm going to hold my breath for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to slowly exhale. Push that air out. And you saw the block go down. Okay, so that is diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so you're all going to try it right now. Okay, so you start from way down low, belly breathing way down low, and after you, breathe in and you start to feel like your lungs are getting filled up, then you can fill up the rest of your lungs. Because let's back up just a second. If you were hyperventilating, you're not even getting the full capacity of your lungs. Okay, so if you diaphragmatic or belly breathe, and this, by the way, is described in great detail in the update, along with links to even more information, so you can practice, review and practice. So what we're going to do is try and get more of our lung capacity to be used. Okay, so start to breathe in from way down here. You're going to take a breath. And then go ahead and fill up the whole rest of your upper lungs. Hold that breath for a couple counts. Hold it. And now slowly start to exhale. Slowly start to exhale. Exhale. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling. Push that air out. Push it, push it, push it. Great job. We're going to try it again. Okay? I'm going to try to do it while I explain it. Okay. So breathe in. All the way, and hold, and slowly start to exhale. Keep exhaling. Push it out. Great. Okay. So now we're going to shift over to some rolling out. There were a couple of videos on there, and by the way, those links to the videos that I did, there were 2 of them, were from the spring, I believe, of 2020. And those were my first tries at making home videos. So I was kind of a rookie. I'm still a rookie. But at least now you get to see me live. Okay? So what we're going to do is start down here. And again, it's not about how hard you go. It's how much you can relax. So we're going to start with the lower calf, and this particular tool is called the Trigger Point Grid. It's a foam roller that is soft on the outside and firm with like PVC pipe material on the inside. And it's got different densities here that are like the palm, the fingers, and the thumb. So it's a little bit different in those areas, okay? But the thing about this, you can do different things with it because it's hollow. When you're traveling, you could stuff clothes in it. And it doesn't compress like a conventional, traditional, solid blue foam roller, okay? So it's gonna hold up a little bit longer. So I'm gonna start. Caitlin, can you still see it?
A little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So you can see I've got my lower leg on the grid right now, and I've got my foot and ankle in a very relaxed position. So I'm going to do a knee raise and relax it back down. And if you can tolerate it, you're going to put your other foot on top. And I'm not pressing my other foot up there, I'm placing it. So if you perform this method with your other foot on top and it's tolerable, tender but tolerable, that's the guideline, then that's fine. If it's so tender there that it's not tolerable, then the modification is take that top leg off. But for now, what you're going to do is 8 to 10 knee raises. Okay, so the combination of your body weight and breathing is increasing elasticity in that muscle group. So we're making that muscle group more like bungee cord instead of beef jerky. And that's what we want to do. That's our goal, to make it more flexible, more elastic, so it functions more efficiently when we're walking, running, doing all kinds of other activities. After you roll it for 8 to 10 repetitions, take the top leg off, do 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, wiggle it back and forth a little bit, and those circles are to increase blood flow and oxygen to the area that you just rolled. And then we're going to internally rotate it, or rotate it like here's position 1 with my toes pointed straight up. Then I'm going to internally rotate, put my other leg back on top, and repeat those 8 to 12 repetitions. I might not do all the repetitions tonight just in the interest of time, but you get the idea. Going to do those repetitions, and notice I'm not going fast. I'm going slowly, focusing on breathing and making sure that I don't do this. So if I tense my foot up like this, that's usually an indication that we're guarding because of discomfort. Okay? So if that's the case, then it's even that much more of an indication that you need to roll those tight muscles out, right? Okay? If you wanted a little more intense workout, you could come up off your butt like this and continue to roll. But if you've not done it before, I suggest staying down on the floor and doing it that way. So then once you've done those and done your 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, then you rotate slightly to the outside. Put the leg back on top and continue those 8 to 10 or 12 knee raises slowly, breathing, really focusing on breathing. And notice I'm upright, not leaning forward. If I'm leaning way forward like this, that means I'm not going to get as much air. Okay, so follow the 8 to 10 or 12 repetitions with the 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, a little more wiggling back and forth. And then what you're going to find is this area here is going to be a lot more pliable, flexible, elastic. When you stand up and step in place, you actually feel a little bit lighter. Everything just works more effectively and more efficiently. So of course, when you do it on one side, you're going to want to do it on the other side. And so then you would repeat that same thing, and I'll review it. Let's see, still in there? Okay.
Actually, I'm going to move it back just a little bit, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Much better.
Okay. So put the leg on top, other leg there, and do 8 or 10 or 12 knee raises slowly, not fast, breathing, keeping the whole foot and ankle relaxed. 8 or 10 or 12, followed by 2 circles one way, 2 circles the other way, and then internally rotate for position 2, other leg on top, 8 to 10 or 12 knee raises. And notice, so I'm not moving my butt back and forth or anything. It's just stationary on the floor. It's just knee raises, and the combination of the weight and the rolling and the relaxation that is increasing the elasticity in that area. So then we do the circles, and now we do position 3, which is slightly to the outside, other leg on top, knee raises, 8 or 10 or 12 repetitions, breathing, relaxing. Sometimes people say, when should I do it? My favorite time to do it ideally is before I go walk or run or cycle. But if the only time I have to do it is before bed, it's not ideal. But if that's the only time I have, then that's what time you do it. Can you do it every day? Yes, you can do it every day. Can you do it for 10 minutes every day, 20 minutes every day, 30 minutes every day? I would turn around and ask you, how much time do you have? How much time do you have? Okay, so that's the lower leg. And Caitlin, I'm going to ask you and thank you to reposition the camera if you need to.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay, we are going to shift now to the quad right here. We're going to start just above the knee. We're going to go up to about the hip. And then we're going to go to the side right here. And okay. So I'm in a plank position. Thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
I'm in a plank position. So you're also getting some core work. And I'm going to start with baby rocking motions. So I'm on my elbows, or my forearms rather, and my opposite knee is over there. It's really just kind of relaxed. I've got a knee pad over there to protect my bony joints from the hard floor. And so notice that I'm not doing anything fast. I'm still focused on that same first area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my body down that direction, and the tool is going to go up my quad, okay? And I'm just going to stay focused on a tiny little area. If you've ever gone and had a deep tissue massage or a therapeutic massage, and that's not a fluff relaxation massage, okay? There's a difference. A good experienced massage therapist is patient. They will stay on one area until they feel a release. A release is where that tension goes away, okay? And when you do this more and more frequently, you're going to get really, really good at being aware of that. So I'm going to work my way down a little more. And a couple of bonus moves. If you get to an area about 2/3 of the way up, you can do a hamstring curl and then wave your foot back and forth like this. That might increase the intensity, but as long as you can tolerate it, that's going to work that tight area or active trigger point and area of tenderness. It's going to work it out a little bit more. And then release that hamstring curl and continue on rolling until you get up to the hip. And then come up to your hands and knees, bump that tool back up, and now we're going to go to a different position. So my hips were pretty much parallel to the floor. Now I'm going to shift to where my hips are going to be about at a 45-degree angle, because now instead of working the front of the leg, I want to work the corner. I'm not going to go all the way over to 90 degrees. That's right on the IT band, which can sometimes aggravate the IT band. So I'm going to go at this corner or about 45 degrees. So you're going to see a different angle now. Okay? So see that? Instead of being this way, I'm here. Okay? And so I've got this forearm, and I've got this hand and the opposite knee. And I'm going to do that same slow, I call it a baby rocking motion, but a slow rocking motion, and then I'm going to methodically and slowly work my way down. I can keep that same 45-degree angle with my hips, even if I come down here like this. And this is going to take a little bit of the pressure off if it gets too intense. This is a modification. If I feel an area of tenderness, I'm going to really just focus on that area a little bit more. I can stop, take a breath. If you feel tension in your butt or your back, try and just relax. If it starts to cramp or it's not tolerable, just roll off of it. If you can do a hamstring curl and then wave the lower leg and foot back and forth, that helps. You want another bonus move? Who wants a bonus move?
Sure.
Okay, it's called scrubbing. Here's scrubbing. I'm doing a circular motion. Doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. I'll do both. Okay, that's increasing the intensity if you want it a little more intense. And then stop that scrubbing. Continue that baby rocking motion until you get up to the hip. Most of the time, there's a spot, an active trigger point that's tender at this 45-degree angle about 2/3 of the way up. It's not uncommon. In fact, it's very common. Notice I'm still working on this same area, and sometimes you can actually do a second pass in that same area. And the second time around, you will notice it less tender because it's like you're doing self-massage. It's amazing. It's extremely effective. But guess what? It doesn't work if you don't do it. If you get one of these tools, how many people have something like this at home? Okay? Does it have dust on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So dust that baby off, dust that puppy off, and start using it. Start slowly, increase gradually.
Okay.
Rolling out should not cause intense pain in any way, shape, or form. No neck pain, no back pain. If you cramp, you might be dehydrated. Question?
Maybe this is a little off point, but I'm just wondering, there's different kinds of foam roller tools. There's like bumpy ones and smooth ones. Does it matter which one? Or can you use more of a smooth one?
Yeah. The question is does it matter if it's smooth or bumpy? The best one is the one that you're going to use. Okay, so no, it doesn't really matter. If you have a smooth one, use it. If you don't have one and you want to try one, we do sell these here. We're a little low on inventory, but we'll be ordering more. And you do get your 10% Princess Steps deal on it. So I'm looking at the time. I'm going to do a couple more, and I'll shift to here. So right now I'm just kind of exploring the butt. I'm working on the Piriformis. I'm going to do a maneuver in this position that actually works a little bit more of that Piriformis, which it's tightness in the butt, and you want your muscles to be firm and toned, but you don't want it to be excessively tight. Mm-hmm. That can contribute to a lot of problems. And this is a way that you can gently and gracefully work on that. If you've done this and you want something a little more intense and you're a little more experienced, then there are other tools. There's larger balls like this that's going to be a little more specific and a little more direct. And then there are also smaller tools that are even more specific and more direct. I wouldn't suggest these until you feel comfortable with a larger surface area and you get confident and comfortable and skilled with that, then maybe you can graduate to something like this. The other awesome thing about this one that you probably wouldn't necessarily use with these unless you were very skilled is that you can work your back. And this is one of, another favorite one is, you can see I'm working the lower back. And then I can slowly go all the way up, filling the snap, crackle, pop, all the way up to there. And then there's this move that I fondly call the Jasper Move. And that's like this, because our chocolate lab from years and years ago did this on the back. So we call that the Jasper Move. And when I roll out with any kind of tool, my posture's better, breathe better, everything works just a little bit better. I will show you these as well. This one's smooth, this one has bumps. One's not necessarily better than the other, it's really personal preference, but you can do a similar type of trigger point work or self-massage with these tools, and it's just simply like this. But you can see the difference. I need to be able to reach this far and use arm strength to do this. So if it's easier to do this because you don't have to reach, then this might be a better method of rolling out the lower legs in contrast with this, okay? So that would be a reason to go here instead of here. Another one is if you have a hard time getting in this position, okay, then that might be a reason to use this, okay? Because you can do this, but this if your shoulder mobility is compromised, this might be harder, this might be easier. So there's different tools, but the concept really is the same. You're doing self-massage. I'm going to take the last couple of minutes to introduce Debbie Bow, because I know she is here. She's one of the leaders. She's been a deep tissue massage therapist for over 30 years. And if you have the financial resources and the time to go get a massage, even if it's once a month, once every 2 or 3 months, what a massage therapist can do is work out some areas that are harder for you to work out on your own. But the magic of doing the trigger point work on your own on a regular basis is that you're keeping things cleaned out and worked out so that when you do go to a massage therapist, they don't have to spend the first 20 minutes ungluing you because you've been doing that work. Like, you wouldn't want to go see the dentist once a year if you had not been flossing and brushing your teeth, right? I know, gross, right?
Good point.
Good point, yeah. Okay, so think of it like that. You're cleaning out your muscles, keeping them clean, keeping the oxygen going. Hydration is really, really key also when you work out, when you roll out, because you're loosening up lots of toxins and you want to flush them out with hydration, hydration, hydration. It's really common after a massage to be thirsty, so you want to hydrate. You want to rehydrate. Debbie Bow has graciously offered 10% discount to you through the duration of the clinic. And that is indicated on the week 5 update. Okay. In addition, there is an offer from Resonance. Thank you. Residence Yoga.
Oh.
Not community. Thank you. Residence Yoga Collective. With trigger or a yoga class. It's called Princess Steps Yoga, specific to you. There's only 20 spots available. I correct that, 19 because I signed up. It's only $10, and it's on Thursday, April. Somebody help me out. Oh, come on. Who read the update?
Oh, not me. I want to go.
Thursday, April. It's coming up. You'll have to go. Who's interested?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, you'll have to go read it.
Okay.
Because there is a link. There is a link on the update. 21st. Thank you. 21st. Thursday, April 21st from 6 to 6:30 p.m.
Awesome.
And there is a Q&A afterwards that they'll answer more questions, and they're going to provide a handout. So, Debbie Bow.
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Did you have anything to add?
I would add that I do love people who use the rollers, and I have probably at least 8 different rollers. The grid's the one I use. The rest of them are dusty, and some of them are used to prop up things. But that thing is amazing, and it does make my work easier, and it also makes the people that are using it much more aware of where they're having issues. So yeah, it's a great tool.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll take a question if there is one. Anybody have a question?
You only stayed really low in your lower leg. You didn't come up with that. Is that?
That's a great question.
Quad, you went the whole kind of.
That's right. The question is when I demonstrated, I only stayed on the lower part of the calf. The lower part of the calf we call the soleus area, and when that soleus area, and also a muscle called the posterior tibialis, it's back here and it comes around and inserts underneath the heel. So how many people have had plantar fasciitis? A lot. Or have ever heard of the term plantar fasciitis, okay? So when that muscle area, the lower part of the leg, is really tight, that can contribute to a lot of foot problems. Plantar fasciitis being just one of them. And I think it's an area that a lot of people neglect. So it doesn't mean that you can't go all the way. You can definitely go all the way, but I like to, in the interest of time, I was focusing on a specific area that is extremely helpful for people, walkers and runners, to work on because it's an area that gets tight. Now, I will end with this. After, people say all the time, don't you talk about stretching? Shouldn't we be stretching? The purposeful warm-up is so important. So important. That's almost, in some respects, if you're limited on time, you know, I mean, great, if you have time, then go ahead and do some gentle stretching before. But ideally, if you think about rolling out first to loosen those muscles up and then stretching, then your stretching is going to be that much more effective. So after I roll out here and here and here, then I'm going to go ahead and stretch. My stretching is so much better after I roll out. So that's an example of a calf stretch. This is an example of a quad stretch. So much more effective after I've rolled those out. And thanks again, Caitlin, for being my videographer. A stretch like this, or like this.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Also, I forgot one, but after you do the quads, then you can also roll the hamstrings, okay? And then after you roll, you could do a stretch, okay? Thanks for that question. Excellent question. Excellent question. One more question.
Does it help get out toxins of medicine? Right? It's the surgery, and I feel like it's still residual.
That's a great question. Debbie Poe, do you have an answer for that one?
Well,
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, we're moving fluid, so it's gonna move whatever's in your system.
Yeah, there's a whole nother topic with limp, and I'm not going to go into that right now. But I would say that as long as it's not contraindicated by your medical professional, and if any question at all, contact your medical professional person and ask them, you know, based on what procedure you had, is rolling out okay? And it's always better to be safe than sorry if ever a question. And so at that, I'm going to sign off because we're already a little over a bit, and I apologize for that. But thank you so much. Yeah, you can.